Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Christine.
I'm Sophia,
I'm Zaria.
And I'm Kathleen.
and today we're going to be examining health portrayed on social media. We will be discussing health on social media using these three frameworks. The first one is socioeconomic status, which is a relative measure of an individual or family's economic and social ranking within a society or population. We'll be talking about medicalization, which is the process of treating non-medical problems and behaviors as medical issues. And lastly, we'll be talking about social determinants of health, which are the conditions in which people are born, grow, live, work, and age, and these all affect health outcomes. So one particular trend on social media is the term looks maxing, which is a term that focuses on maximizing one's physical attractiveness through self-improvement techniques ranging from harmless grooming, which is referred to as soft maxing, to more extreme measures. And these can be potentially dangerous. The trend has recently moved from forums like looksmax.org to more mainstream and popular platforms like TikTok and Instagram, and it is especially prevalent among teenage boys. So these are just some examples of looksmaxing. One of them is bone smashing, which is the action of repeatedly striking your bones so that they grow back. And this can be especially harmful to young audiences who may not have the correct judgment to know if something is
based on numbers, that looks are the most important metric, and it would be insane to not prioritize them.
They began injecting testosterone at just 14 years old, claiming that natural puberty wasn't optimized for the modern world.
I started with 300 milligrams of testosterone, and I did that for a while, up until I was 16.
What?
I'm 100% confident that I made the right decision in my life, and I'm so glad that I look a little bit more mature.
Today at 19,
19? Your year starts with 19?
he's garnered a massive audience online, where he says that everything in life is determined by one thing.
So it's $35,000 for a double jaw surgery with full facial implants. I know the amount of money that I'm investing will pay itself off to a huge degree. The amount of money that I'm investing will pay itself off to a huge degree.
In this episode, we'll dive into the psychology of human attraction, explore his philosophies on genetic determinism, and unveil the extreme measures some men take to maximize their looks. What drugs do you take in a day?
I'm taking testosterone
I'm
every
not a
single
huge
day,
longevity
take 7.5 milligrams of
Yeah, so this is where socioeconomic status comes in. People with higher income have access to safer and more professional treatments, such as licensed surgeons,
safe care.
dermatologists, or good, safe care and treatments.
DIY treatments.
On the
at
other
home.
hand, people with lower income
extreme
may not have
dieting.
access to those safer options, so they dieting or just really unsafe trends online. This creates a clear inequality where everyone is exposed to the same beauty standards, but not everyone has that same access to achieve those safely. As a result, health outcomes and self-images are influenced not just by personal decisions, but by access to resources and your status in for it
Financial
and
stability.
on social media,
and
there's this whole
then
thing where we have medicalization. This has become a really big thing. If yes, I feel like this is a really big trend on social media where people tend to, see where normal features like face shape, height, or body proportions are often labeled
everyone
as
has
flaws
differing.
that need to be fixed. And so, we see these things on social media and how people are, for an example, taking ADHD medication, and some people may think that they need ADHD medication because this person says they're not focused and they have ADHD, so that means that I would need, ADHD medication. So something that, as something as normal as like having a certain jaw shape that might be labeled as a defect that requires surgery, like I feel like a lot of these things that we see on social media body types and personalities, and this over time can negatively affect mental health, self-esteem, because people are starting to see themselves as problems that need to be fixed rather than accepting who they really are. And then next up, this can connect to the
With
social
advancements
determinants
of
of health.
technology.
I think that there is definitely a cycle of, isolation, and social media can definitely, create that. It reflects, and reinforces social inequalities like racism, sexism, and unrealistic beauty standards. Certain features or body types um, can be, less, like, can be more ignored, and then some can be more, idealistic. This creates, I feel like, a system where people feel pressure to conform to these standards. It also creates a toxic environment. And so, for example, we see that there's a lot of, social requirements for men to, have this like certain ideal, and, creating these unhealthy habits because like that's what they see on social media and everything. um and it's usually, anonymous, and so they kind of they think because a certain person said this is how they should be acting. So I feel like this reinforces the social hierarchy where important.
Contrary, with advancements of technology, this brings us to the increased use of artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI. So this is being used by individuals not only to look up health information, but also, as we can see through this table, through businesses. So what's interesting here in this table is that about 48% say that their business is not using AI. However, there are some other disproportionate percentages that are using it, which ultimately just shows that we are in a transition state within the use of AI, and we have seen this a lot. So while AI is kind of at the middle right now, we also see platforms and businesses starting to increase their integration of AI, and people are becoming more reliant on it. And so while AI increases convenience and access to information, it also raises an important question about if people may begin to trust AI answers or social media instead of seeking information from qualified health professionals. It can lead to misinformation. And on the next slide, we see this through AI harming mental health. So AI has significant impacts on mental health because some people are forming emotional connections with AI by talking to it and treating it like a companion or even an actual human, which can lead to isolation, addiction, difficulty maintaining real life connections. And it also just ultimately blurs the line between what is real, what is artificial, and how people interact with others and even understand their own emotions, which is, of course, is crucial to oneself. And so while AI may seem helpful, it can also create new challenges for mental health and
like
social
easy
well-being.
fixes to
And then lastly, a really important point about AI and mental health is deep fake AI. So this is where AI creates very realistic but fake videos or images, and it is seen a lot on social media and can be used to spread
Lastly,
misinformation, scams, or false
lastly, we
health
have
advice by
telehealth and how,
faking
which
a
has been
video
a,
of, let's say,
a
a doctor,
better
and then
a
there
better
are
resource,
vulnerable
which has increased
populations because
healthcare
not everyone has the same ability to recognize what is real or what is fake. And this is where socioeconomic status comes in, because the more vulnerable groups that are being misled or exploited is because that they don't have the same education or technology as everyone else, so there's not as
recent
kept
years,
up, and of
AI is
course
beginning to
ultimately more
impact
vulnerable.
healthcare more
And then
directly.
this again just
As
ultimately
many
shows how
more human
socioeconomic
processes
status
become
plays a
digitalized,
role,
there's
because
been a
access to
popularity with
knowledge and
telehealth
resources
visits,
affect
as
how
mentioned
people
earlier.
experience and
While it can
respond to these
improve efficiency
technologies.
and access, it can also spread misinformation, such as fake doctors, mentioned in the last slide, promoting treatments or incorrect medical advice.
Most
Issues
people
or issues that
do
are caused by
actually
upstream issues.
support
And this is
telehealth,
especially dangerous for
and it
vulnerable
allows people to
populations who
connect with
may
doctors more
trust
easily
what they
and
see
online
online
instead
without
of
questioning it. If people cannot tell the difference between true and false information and whether it's coming from a real professional, it can lead to poor health decisions and loss